Welcome back, everyone, to Life's Weird with Jen and George. I'm Jen.
I'm George. What's happening? What's happening?
You got your fancy green on. I got my green nails.
Oh,
St.
very
Patty's Day,
classy.
what up?
Coming up, coming up. People ready to celebrate. It's a big thing in the Chicagoland area for sure. There's big parties and parades and everything. People really
Yeah,
get
I just
into
saw
it.
they did the river. So it's
Yes, they
nice.
they dye the river green and it stays that color for way too long.
Are
That's
you a
yeah.
hater of the green water?
I don't think it's supposed to stay green like it does, but it is what it is out here. You
Yeah.
know, green water. You shouldn't. I mean, certain parts of Lake Michigan, especially in Chicago, you shouldn't touch that water at all anyway. So it's fine. Not the greatest water source for sure.
Fair.
So it's all good. It doesn't really matter what color it is. You probably shouldn't get into it either way.
Yeah. But yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.
Yeah.
Don't touch green water.
And don't touch yellow snow. You know what I'm saying?
That too. Yeah.
Or brown snow, even worse. But yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh,
Yeah.
ooh. That was a little gross. That was my bad. Got strange there. My bad.
That's okay. It's all good. That's what we're here for.
Talk about doodles. No doodoo snow. Make sure your kids don't eat the
Um,
snow. Bad move.
yeah. Today we're talking about embracing your BDE, your big dog
Hmm.
energy, not
Indeed.
dirty water or snow. That's just.
Mhm. Yeah, but all the dirty minds, when they hear BDE, they're gonna think, yeah.
I saw a guy at the gym today wearing a BDE shirt, and I was about to say something. It was um, Big Dad Energy.
Oh, gotcha,
I'm like,
gotcha.
see, other people are doing it. It's not just
That's
us.
right. Getting into the spirit.
Today we're talking about Big Dog Energy, not Big Dad
Hmm.
Energy, not the other types of
Yeah.
BDE. Yeah. What makes you feel confident?
Mhm.
Just all the things. We're gonna embrace the BDE today with a special
And,
guest.
and my cat is gonna keep showing her head, probably. You'll probably see her tail as well. Because she has the BDE as well. She's got the big
Yeah,
energy.
I like the BDE.
She's a big dog, even though she's a cat.
So yeah, what makes you feel confident? Are you a confident person? I'm a fake it till you make it.
Mm.
I fake it for sure.
You think so?
I think so, yes.
Honestly, I feel like that's where most people land. Like I've always been like a pretty confident person. I think it's a part of my general personality. It's just kind of who I am. I speak confidently. I do everything I do. I try to do it with extreme confidence. It's just I think sometimes you got to walk the line between being like super confident and cocky. And it's a hard line for people to walk where it can get a little, it can get annoying. If you're like, if you're way too confident about everything all the time, it can get a little annoying for sure. For some people, for sure.
That
Yeah.
BDE
I
is
think
so strong.
confidence is one of the keys to the success in life. I feel like if you're not, even if you gotta pretend to be confident, you're not going to get where you want to be without being confident in life.
Mhm. Is there something you do that makes you feel more confident? Or you just kind of,
Uh, I think you know what's funny? As I'm getting older, I just feel like my confidence sometimes gets a little lower. I have days where I'm just like, I'm just not digging it. But every once in a while, I just gotta, take a deep breath and just kind of remind myself, like, it's all right. And then I just gotta kind of remind myself, I guess, of all the things about myself that I like. But that's what I try to do because it's like as you get older, you're not as fast as you used to be. You're not as strong as you used to be. You feel sometimes you're not as smart as you used to be. Everything is just kind of like it just you can feel it. And it's just kind of like it knocks at your confidence, like you start questioning yourself. And I just take a deep breath. I need days where I just kind of close my eyes, take a deep breath, and just relax. And I just remind myself of who I know I am. 'Cause that's to me the biggest part about confidence, knowing who you are, knowing thine self, because if you know yourself, then what can someone really tell you about you? You know?
Hmm. That's so funny you think as you get older, it's less. I feel like I'm the complete opposite. I feel
Hmm.
like the older I'm getting, I'm more like, it took a lot of work.
Hmm.
Mentally, physically, we're there, but I feel like the older I'm getting more of the I don't care what people think now, and it's
Hmm.
what do I want? What do
Hmm.
I think? What do I, I'm more like it's all about me. It's not all about me, but kind of more like I'm not going to worry about what other people are wanting or
Hmm.
thinking. It's what does Big Dog want? You know?
Exactly. Hey, that's what it is.
So yeah,
That's
it
life
took a lot of work to get here, but yeah, I feel
for
like the
sure.
older I'm getting, I'm just like, you know what? Embrace the BDE.
Hey, that's good. That's good. I try to make everyone around me feel comfortable. So anytime anyone tries to get around me, I think sometimes my energy and confidence kind of gets onto people in a good way, I think, because I try to make sure people around me are just comfortable. And I think that's a measurement of true confidence that I don't need to make you feel bad to make myself feel good because I already feel good about myself. Like if something good happens to you, I'm not gonna be like, shit, that should have happened to me. It's like, well, a lot of the times people question, they just question themselves too much. And it's like, well, a lot of times you didn't earn it. You can say all these things, but if you didn't earn it, then what are you really talking about? You're just kind of like you're just being a hater at that point. Like, oh, you got that raise. I did it. Like, sucks for you. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, when people be like, oh, you think you earned that raise? Absolutely. Like, anytime you ask me, I'm always gonna think I need more money. I need more promotions. I need everything. Like, because I think a lot of the times, I think your confidence is really coming through because your ambition is coming through. I think a lot of times people feel ashamed almost about being ambitious, especially once you're a parent. It could feel like, ooh, I'm focusing on myself way too much. What about my kids? What about my wife? What about my husband? What about this? I think too, a lot of the times that happens with women. They it happens to men too, but it happens to women a lot where they're so focused on everybody else and taking care of kids. And,
Mhm.
if you got a immature husband, you're taking care of him too, just like he's one of the kids. And it's like,
Mhm.
and you're working a full-time job and you're doing this. And it's just kind of like, you don't even take time to think about what exactly it is that you want.
Mhm.
I think I've always kind of known what I want, and I think that's probably why I've always been confident. And it's like, I don't need anyone to believe in me because I believe in me. That's something I say to myself all the time. Like, I don't need you to think like, oh, you could do that. Well, I already think I could do it, but thank you. I just try not to be a jerk about it. But in my mind, even when someone be like, hey man, you're handsome, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I am. Thank. But it's like you just kind of gotta like be cool about it. You can't say that even if you think that. You gotta be like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. You gotta kind of. My humbleness is often very fake. Like anytime anyone gives me a compliment, I'm thinking to myself, absolutely. Like George, you're really smart. Hmm. You're preaching to the choir. Well, I just say thank you. Oh, thank you. Thanks a lot. Like, oh, you're really athletic. Oh, thank you. Yeah. No shit. I know these things, but thank you. You know, I think
True.
my I think my confidence probably could have came down a little bit since I got around maybe like 35 or so. I think that's where it goes for a lot of people. Once you hit 30, because everyone has these things in their mind like, I'm gonna hit all these benchmarks before I hit whatever age. And then you don't hit them, and then one day you wake up and you're looking like, ooh, didn't do
Mhm.
that. So it's like you almost gotta recalibrate every like few years just to kind of check in with yourself. That's that's what I try to do the most, check in with myself. I don't try to do it daily because then you can get like stuck in your head where you're just thinking too much about everything and you're not doing anything because you're so focused thinking. I'm going off on like a super tangent. But yeah, so like what made you just finally just say like, you know what? I don't really give a shit what people think. What was like, did something happen or you just kind of like woke up one day like, yeah, I don't really care.
I I think it's been like a snowball effect that's been kind of in motion for a while now. It was a little before COVID hit, I started going to therapy, and I'm like,
Wow.
I am we need some help here.
Hmm.
So I think a lot of that, and then I started going to the gym. So it's like I was working mentally and physically. And then it's just like, why am I comparing myself to somebody who's living a completely different life than me? I don't know, their circumstances or what they're going through. So why am I basing my life on their standards when this is my situation? Who knows their situation? I need to be in my bubble and accomplish what I can accomplish and not be like, well, they're in their 30s and they've already got married, have kids, they've traveled the world, and I'm just not there. I'm like, because they're not living my life. They don't have my situation. So a lot of mental and physical work where it's just like, stop comparing to other people, focus on you. What do you want? How can you get there? You know,
For
kind of
sure.
recalibrate and not be, leave the outside noise and
Mm-hmm.
focus on Jen. Pretty
Absolutely.
much.
That's
So
good. That's good.
took
You
a
know,
lot
that's
of work, time and
oh,
money.
for sure.
So worth it.
No, it definitely takes people a while to kind of click into themselves because
Yeah.
I feel like after high school, life goes so fast. And you like
Mm-hmm.
you can go from 18 to 28 in like a blink of an eye, or just you're just kind of looking around like, holy shit, I'm about to be 30, or it's like, oh shit, I'm about to be 40. Whoa. You just
Mm-hmm.
kind of look around and you get to a certain spot where you forget how old you are. Like, wait, hold on. I'm about to be how old? Damn. And it's like you like the expectations, like we all got these expectations from wherever. Some people got it from their family, some people got it from like television, and it can just feel so overwhelming because it's like, oh, I gotta do but then you gotta stop and ask yourself, well, okay, if I don't do these things, then what? Because it's like because trying to do those things sometimes will put yourself into situations you shouldn't be in,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I had a child out of wedlock because I was getting to a certain age where it was like, I should get like, married and have kids and stuff like, and it's like, and then I was making choices that I shouldn't have been making. And it's like, ooh, and it's like when you're with the wrong person, because I wasn't with like the wrong person out of loneliness. I was with the wrong person out of kind of like hitting benchmarks that I thought that I wanted for myself. So
Mm-hmm.
it was like one, and then even breaking up with that person, especially when you have a child, is very difficult because you're thinking about, okay, how is this going to affect the child and my relationship with this child? And then you have to make a very difficult decision on, okay, what's best for me? What's best for me might not necessarily be best for my child. And that's a very difficult decision. And a lot of people can't pull that cord because it's like, it's a lot of like just kind of stuff that comes with that. And it's just kind of like that could knock at your general confidence and everything. Because it's like you go from being a full-time parent to being a part-time parent. And it's like if you put all of your identity into being a parent and now you're just there half the time, now what are you? And I think that's the issue that a lot of parents have. Like normally you see it with people when their kids like go off to college. They're just kind of looking around like, well, what now? And it's like it's a difficult place to be in where you get to looking around like, ooh, what to do? Because it's like, a lot of the people are like married or they might be this and they might be that, and you're just kind of looking around like, yeah, it's solo. Like hey, you coming to my wedding? You want a plus one? Solo. Coming in hot, one man army. But
Nothing wrong
it's
with that.
there's nothing wrong with that. But it's like I think a lot of people's biggest fear is being alone or essentially dying alone. And it's just kind of like you'll stay in a relationship even if it's making you unhappy because you don't want to disappoint other people and you essentially don't want to disappoint the younger version of you that set that expectation for you. And that's tough.
And I think that was something that kind of helped me get past like, well, all of my friends are off married and having kids now because so many of my friends, they're all in relationships where it's like, I know you're not happy. Like
Mm,
to the outside world, yeah, you got the fancy house, you got the husband, you got the kids, you're traveling, but it's like, I know how miserable you are. And that's
yeah.
because you are, I don't want to say settling, but you're trying
No,
to
there's
fit into this box of the expectations you had. And now it's like, well, I should be happy. I have XYZ. And I'm like,
yeah.
no, you gotta do what makes you happy. That's
Yeah.
bottom line.
You get to looking around and if you ever say that to yourself, you need to make changes. If you ever look around and think to yourself, well, I have this and I have that, I should be happy. Okay. You gotta look yourself in the mirror
Mm-hmm.
and make some difficult life choices. It's sometimes it's just kind of looking down like at your body, like, ooh, belly's a little bigger than it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Or it's just kind of like, I don't really like this job. I just kind of go to it. Well,
Yep.
what are you gonna do? I think
Mm-hmm.
that I try to always ask myself, anytime I ask myself a question, I try to come up with an answer to the question. Like, what are you gonna do? Yeah, gotta do something. Yeah, it's like life is actually hella short. And it's like, do
Mm-hmm.
you really want to be 'cause you don't want to be the like person who stayed in an because if you're unhappy, the person you're with is probably unhappy as well. So y'all are just kind of staying there until one of you gets the guts to kind of pull the trigger and then that's it. And then you don't want to be the person that's like, 50, 60 years old, divorced, trying to find somebody because it's like at that point, I don't know. I mean, it's possible that you could be whatever, but it's just anytime you're in an unhappy, okay, I was in an unhappy relationship for a while, and it was like once I got out of it, I was just so mad at myself for a while because it was just kind of like I knew it was shit. The whole time I knew it was garbage, but I stayed anyway, and it was like even though I knew ugh, I kind of hate this person, and I'm pretty sure this person hates me, but we're just kind of here. And it's just kind
Mm-hmm.
of like it's funny too. If you ever like are in an unhappy relationship, look at pictures of yourself from that time and it'll show on your fucking face. I saw a picture of me from around that time and I looked miserable. Didn't even know. And then I looked and I was like, oh man, I look like I'm just like about to jump off the roof, but I didn't see it. When I see pictures of myself now, I look very happy. But there was a time in my life that I guess I was just faking being happy, and it showed in the photos for sure. If you're taking a picture with someone that you're supposed to be with and you look unhappy in the photo, there's something wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be something wrong. I just didn't, it didn't click when I saw it during the time, but like retrospect, when I looked after, it was like, ooh, geez, why do I look like that? I don't even look like myself. And that's how it is. You lose yourself in like an unhappy situation. And that goes with just relationships or friendships or 'cause yeah, you could be friends with someone for a super long time and people change, right? Like, you know, just because you've known them since you were children doesn't mean that you should still be friends with them now. Because they might be very different, you might be very different. I had a friend who I was friends with for a long time, and one day he just made a joke, and I was just kind of like, "Yeah, that's not fucking funny." And he looked at me like, "Whoa," and I was just kind of like, it kind of clicked, like, "Oh, we're two different people," and you're not necessarily a bad person, but you're not. I have a different life now. And the lifestyle that you're trying to live and what you're trying to do is very different from what I'm doing. And it's like you're still trying to there, there's a lot of guys who are still trying to live it up like, this is 2005. This ain't 2005 no more, man. Like you gotta eventually grow up. I get it. Like young forever. I get it. But it's just kind of like when you have that mindset, you make those kind of decisions in your life that you shouldn't be still making. Like, yeah, like wow, you're still doing that? Like you're still making those
I think
kind of
it's so
jokes?
important for people to like kind of look within and realize that, yeah, I've kind of outgrown this friendship.
Yeah.
I have a few of those where I'm like, yeah, but I've known them forever. I can't like,
Hmm.
but then it's like we grew in two completely
Yeah.
separate directions. That's like I will always have love for you,
Hmm.
wish you the best, but we're we're not on the same level. And I think so many people stay in friendships just because they're like,
Oh yeah.
well, I've known them forever, but I call them my energy vampires now.
Oh yeah.
Throw
There
back
you
to
go.
the whatever episode I said that. But
You're
it's
gonna
like,
have to clip that.
yeah, right. Yeah, but the energy vampires, I actually just had a date with an energy vampire that, it's like you sit there and it's kind of not like an out of body experience, but you're sitting there
Hmm.
like, why am I here? Why am I entertaining this? Why am I it's so draining. And then I had a little dinner date with somebody that is just like, you're like a mental recharge for me, and I need this. And why am I spending time with these energy vampires? And it's like, it is. Life's too short to just be like, well, I've known you forever, so I'll sit here, cut the cord, embrace your
Yeah.
BDE, and cut the cord.
And sometimes you gotta cut the cord, with friends, relationships, just no
It's
matter
so
who it
important,
is.
especially now. You need people that lift you up and recharge you,
Hmm.
not drain you, because
Yes,
everything that's happening in the world, it's like so draining. You need that positivity and people that'll lift you up and not
for
make you
sure.
want to be like, I need to stay in my bed for a week and recover from
Yeah. Oh
this.
yeah. Nah, for sure. Nah, it's not about being a good person or a bad person. Sometimes you just grew apart, and that's fine. And it's like I had a friend like that who it's like I was wasting so much time trying to like connect with this, reconnect essentially. And it's just kind
Mm,
of like, yeah, it's just not the same. But I would say that somebody who's your genuine friend, you could not see them for like 10 years and see them, and it's like no time has passed. But there's people who is just kind of like you're just if anytime in any social situation and you start asking yourself, why am I here? Or man, I wish I was doing this instead, then that whoever that person is, you shouldn't be around those people. It's
yeah.
like those are not regular thoughts. Like I know
You're
a lot of people
right.
kind of like normalize that, like, oh yeah,
You,
I know that person's a piece of garbage, but they're my piece of garbage. Nah,
right?
man. Life is too short. It's just kind of like I think a lot of people have like these relationships where they feel like they can't be themselves around someone. And that is the problem. If you can't be who you are around this person, even if everyone thinks they're the greatest person alive, that person's not someone you should be around. If you feel like every time you say something you think, oh, I shouldn't say that, or eh, it's like you shouldn't be around that person, and that's one of the more difficult decisions that you got to make to choose you in situations and
Yeah.
to have healthy boundaries, and that goes not just with relationships, that goes with work too. Sometimes I just gotta tell them, hey man, I'm leaving. Like, don't ask me to do nothing else because I'm not doing it. I have something I need to do and I'm gonna go. Have a good day. Because even like places like your job, they'll try to like, you know, oh, come on, man. Yeah, we're like a family, man. We're really not. Like, carry
Hmm.
on. You do whatever you do, and I'll do what I do. Because at the end of the day, if they want to replace you, they're gonna fire you and replace you. So it's not like you're doing all these things and they're just like, man, we can't fire George, man. He's out of family. Now they're gonna fucking fire me. Like if they feel like, oh, we could probably get someone else to do that. It's like, that's fine. So it's like a lot of the times you're breaking your back for these places that really don't care about you. And it's like, even if you died, it'll be like, man, that sucks. Well,
Yeah.
who are we gonna get to replace him? Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Hmm.
And it's like,
Yeah. I wish that was something that they would normalize, is just like making self-care and all
yeah,
of that more of a priority and not your workhorse. Do as much as you can. And I think so many people do that now that it's like, I am going to put in the overtime. I am going to step up and do this, this, this. And, maybe they'll give me a raise because they appreciate me. They're like, great, you're doing more work. And no, I'm not going to pay you for that, but good for you. And then I had a job where my basement flooded. And so I'm like, I called in. I'm like, I can't come in. I got to take care of this. The next day, they brought me in, said I wasn't a team player because
oh,
people had to pick up my shift. I'm like, my basement flooded. I never call in. It was one day. Like, you're just a number to them. And I quit the next week because I'm like, I was always picking up people's shifts. This was a job I was working 6 days a week. I hardly ever called in. I called in because my basement flooded, and then they're like, "You're not a team player." I'm like, "This isn't working out." You
yeah,
know?
no. Sometimes, listen,
But
you
they do.
gotta,
It makes like an expectation where I'm going to go above and beyond. And the one moment you take a minute for yourself, whether good or bad, it's like, why would you let us down like that? You're not a team player. I'm like, mm-mm.
yeah, for sure. Nah, I think a lot of people don't really look at it like that. I think that's my favorite thing about the like this younger generation of current workers. They'll quit a job
They'll
immediately.
just won't
They,
show up.
they just
Like,
won't show
nah,
back
I
up.
don't want to.
Like, you know what? That's enough of that. And that's it. And it's like, look,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
George, man, can you believe he quit? Yeah, be like that. That's all I
Mhm.
say. Yeah, sucks. Like you're gonna need to do more work. Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
But you should probably hire somebody else to do that. Good luck.
Hmm.
Oh, I've been called a non-team player pretty much my whole life. Because it's like I'm not going to do more work so someone else can do less work.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to pay, he's going to get paid the same amount as I am, right? So you want me to do my work and then help him, but then we both get the same pay? Yeah, I'm not going to do that. But
Hmm.
good luck. I'm sure you can find someone who will. It's just not going to be. It's like,
Hmm.
and it's just kind of, you have to choose yourself in a lot of situations. And it's interesting. I would say that anybody who makes you feel guilty for choosing yourself is someone that you shouldn't have in your life. And it doesn't matter who it is. It could be your parents, it could be your children, it could be your coworkers. Anybody who makes you feel that way are people you shouldn't have around. Because it's like, hey, man, if the shoe was on the other foot, I would be like, oh, I understand that, you know, like you just need
Mhm.
a day off, you're feeling burnt out. I get it. I've been a supervisor and I've been in management before. I understand. Sometimes it's just kind of like, hey, my kid's been being a dickhead for like a week straight. I just need a day off. And it's like, yeah, for sure. It's like that. It's like you have to treat people like humans first.
Mhm.
You're a human before you're an employee. So it's like you have to treat people in a certain way that you want to be treated. It's like it's very simple in that way. Treat people how you yourself want to be treated. If you
It
don't want
sounds
anyone
simple. It's
yelling at you, then why would you yell at anybody else?
uh
It's
should be that way.
it should be.
Sadly, it's not. Hmm.
That if more people live their life in that way, it would change everything, right? As far as like even dating. Like you wouldn't want no one to ghost you, so why would you ghost someone? Like in a friendship. Well, if you're supposed to be my friend, why would you make jokes about me in that way? Like there's there's always like when it comes to male friendship, there's always kind of like these like, oh, guys kind of like make fun of each other. That's what we do. Yes, in a certain way. But there's certain things that just aren't funny. And there's a delivery and it all comes with intent. It's sometimes it's not what you're saying, it's how you're saying it. And if these people are your actual friends, they wouldn't try to make you feel bad. And it's
Yeah.
like that's the thing. Like if you are out with friends and you don't feel great after you leave those friends, those are not people you should have in your life.
Mhm.
Because it's like you shouldn't feel drained or like feel like weirdly obligated to hang out with them. Like, oh, because I always see this stuff online, like, oh, the introvert who doesn't want to leave their house. Thank God plans got canceled. Hmm, you shouldn't feel like that. Like even like I know people who are super introverted, and then I don't think they ever feel like, oh crap, I gotta hang out with that guy. I don't think people have that feeling about me, but I know there's people who have feelings like, "Oh, I really don't want to do that. But they feel this social like obligation that, oh, I
Well, and
gotta
there's
go.
a difference because I'm that way where like I'll make plans and I'll be like, in that moment, great, let's make plans. And then the day comes and I'm just like, I'm just not feeling it. But then it's like, depending on who you're with, you go and you're glad you went, or you can
Yeah.
have your energy vampires where it's just like, I can't wait to not see you again for
Yeah.
a
Oh yeah.
while.
Nah, for
So
sure.
there is a fine line there because, yeah, I've had a lot of those moments where I'm like, oh, I hope they cancel. And then they don't. I'm just like, but then I'm happy I went. You know, you pat yourself on your back because you're like, you got out of the house. But then there's people where it's like, I don't want to go. I want you to cancel. And then you go, and then it's like, I kind of hate you. And now
Yeah.
I feel like I've
Gotcha.
had the soul drained from me. But
I
that's when
kinda
you
hate
have to
you.
like,
It's tough.
yeah, you have to look in and be like, you know what?
Nah, it's like
This
that.
isn't for me anymore. We've grown our separate ways, and I think we
For
need to
sure.
keep it at a positive ending, I guess.
Oh, for sure. Listen, I was in a 10-year relationship and then I got to the end of it and it was just kind of like, I'm pretty sure we hate each other. And it's just kind of like, I don't think there's a couples therapist in the world that could fix what this is between you and I. It's just kind of, when we first met, we were pretty much like similar, right? And then like 10 years is a long time. And if the person you're with isn't growing with you, it's like you're always kind of looking back, you're kind of looking back and you're just, at that point, you're just hoping and wishing that they change or that they do this and they do these things. And, you could, and there's different ways you can like kind of bring it up. You can be like kind of chill about it, or then you get to a point where you're angry about it. And it's like, damn, this person doesn't change. God, man, you're still acting like we're 21 and we're closer to 31. And it's like, are you gonna do anything? And it's kind of like, you realize, God, you can't change people. I think that's the thing that I had to learn the very hard way about people because I'm a
Hmm.
very like I'm pretty chill, but I am I don't know how to say this. I am I'm trying to say a way to say it so I don't sound like an asshole.
Give you
I
a
want people
safe
to do
space.
what I want them to do, essentially. You know, and then it's kind of like I got, well, n no, that I don't want to say that. That sounds weird. I want you to be the person I know you can be in my head. That makes more sense. Like, I know you can do these things. You just choose not to. And it's like, I know you can be a better person. You just choose not to. And I have this like envision in my head of the person that you are. And then there's the reality of who you actually are. And a lot of parents do this with children, you know, like my kid would never. Like, yeah, your kid's probably an asshole, you know, and it's like you have to you have to treat people who they are based upon who they are and their and you know, it's a cliche, but actions speak louder than words, right? You can keep telling me, but then if you're doing the exact opposite, then what are you actually talking about? You know,
Mhm.
like you can tell, like, you know, in like any situation, you could keep telling me, oh, I had a job that kept telling me, oh yeah, man, you're not well, as soon as we hire another person, we're gonna cut your hours down so you don't gotta work as many hours and yada yada yada. And it's like you're saying these things, but you're not actually doing anything to make these things happen. So what are you actually doing? And it's like that at a job, it's like that with your friends, it's like yeah, man, I'm gonna stop cheating on my wife, you know, once she loses some weight. Well, that's a shitty thing for you to say. Maybe you shouldn't cheat on your wife, or maybe you should do something different. Maybe you should get a divorce. And it's like, now I have to hold your secret. And it's like, oh, you know, and a good friend wouldn't make you do that. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was doing something crazy and now you're like you're implicated in my crime. And it's like, you know, it's like, ooh, it's
Mhm.
tough. It's just a difficult thing to deal with here. You know,
Mhm.
you don't want to be implicated in my crime unless you want to be implicated in my crime. Consensual crime, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be like involved in your shit, like if I don't have to be. I had a friend who would always cheat on his girlfriend, and like he would tell her, "Oh yeah, I'm with George." And it's like she and he would like sometimes he would forget to tell me and it would be like super awkward now. It's like, yeah, how did you guys enjoy the game last night? Fine. And it's like now I'm wrapped up in your life. And
Messy.
it's just kind of
Mhm.
like you're not my actual friend because my if you were my actual friend, you wouldn't ask me to do these things. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I know it's like, oh, bro code and yada yada yada. Yo, man, don't put me in your life. Just be a fucking man. You know what I'm saying? Like either leave her or stop cheating. Like, don't all this other it's just garbage, man. It's like, hey, dude, man up, man. It's like there's a real lack of accountability when it comes to
Mhm.
friendships and relationships, you know, like, and it's just like people don't want to hear it. And it's like, and then it becomes the elephant in the room, right? Like, it's like you see them and there's this thing that you want to say to them that you feel like you can't say. So it's just kind of like,
That's another thing that it's taken me a long time to like actually work on it and live it. But it's like if you're doing something that you can't tell a group of people you're doing, don't do it. I'm such a big person of like open, honest communication. If I'm talking to you and I'm like, I hate this friend and they're my energy vampire and I don't want to see them ever again. And then I go see them and be like, you're the best. Like,
oh yeah, yeah.
love you. Like, don't be messy. Open, honest communication. And that's taken me because I am like the people pleaser and I don't want to hurt people's feelings, but also it's like, well, what if they found out I was telling you or the world, hey, like I,
Yeah.
you know, like just be open and honest with people. And I think if you do it from a good kind of like compassionate way,
Mhm.
just live your truth. Don't be messy, you know?
For sure. It's
It takes a lot
important
of work,
to,
but
oh,
people
for
don't do
sure.
that and they want to mask it and be like, well, I'm gonna skate through like nothing's wrong. But it's like then at the end of the day, you're like, well, now I have been with this energy vampire and I hate it. And it's like, just be open and honest. It's okay to break up with your friends. It's okay to break up with your partners. Open and
Okay to
honest
break up with a
communication.
job, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
all right.
yeah,
If
for
if
sure.
if it's not if it's not serving you, then what is it
Mm-hmm.
doing? Then it's just kind of there in your life, draining your life force. And it's just kind of
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
anytime you feel like you're obligated, there's something wrong. You should want to do these things. Like you should want to hang out with your spouse. You should want to hang out with your friend. You know, you
Yeah.
should. I know everyone kind of hates their job, but you shouldn't hate it so much that you're just kind of like, fuck, I
You
don't
should
want to
have
go
more
there.
good days than bad. If you're having more
Yeah,
bad
yeah.
days than good, then yeah, something should change for sure.
Oh, yeah, because it's like you don't want to hate any element of your life, you know, like
Yeah, and life's
because
too
it's tough.
short.
It's man, you could die, you could wake up dead any day now. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's just hard, man. Like, because life is hard. You know, there's a lot of like difficult decisions and difficult things you got to do, and it's like it's hard to have self accountability. So you don't want to try to have accountability for someone else too at the same time because it's just too much. You know, it's you gotta have integrity. Like that's the thing that I look for in people in general. Like I want you to do exactly what you're gonna say. Like, well, I try not to like I'm like that, and I know
Well,
most
it's a
people are not.
fine line. Is it like, are you not doing it because you're just like, nah, I don't care, or you
Yeah.
can't do it, or there's a fine line of if you say something and you don't do it, why? So I
I'm
get
one of
it.
those people who if I tell you I'm going to do something or not going to do something, it's gonna probably happen. If I tell you, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. It's not like you could once I make up my mind, it's like that's it. Like there's nothing you can tell me. Like if I decide, yeah, I'm not going to do that, you can say whatever you want after that. I'm just not gonna do it. And vice versa. It's like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. It's like, oh man, da 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 da. Yeah, you can keep talking, but it's fine. I'm not gonna do it. I already told you. So let's just move on. Yeah, because that sometimes there are people in this world that you just gotta put your foot down because you might help them once and then all of a sudden that's the expectation for your relationship. You're like, oh, you know, George gave me a ride to work. He'll give me a ride to work tomorrow. Oh, he'll just keep giving me a ride to work. I don't even got to worry about it. Like, or it's like, oh, he lied for me one time. He'll keep lying for me. Like right, right, right. It's like, nah, because yeah, you don't want to put yourself like, yeah, it's cool to like help people out and be a people pleaser. That's fine. And oh, give him the shirt off my back. But everyone who's like that gets to a point where they're just drained. And it's like it just gets to be too much. It's like, like you're gonna keep you're gonna keep asking me for favors or you're gonna keep like, not showing up and doing all these things. And it's like you get to a point, I think once you get to like after 30 or so, you don't want to hear anybody's excuses. Like, man, keep those excuses to your fucking self. I don't care. Especially, and when you get 40, you really don't care. You just don't want to hear it. Like, I don't really care. Like, some, I get it. Like, sometimes there's legitimate excuses, but it's just kind of like,
Well, and
I
it's
don't,
different if it's like a consistent thing where it's like if I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do whatever I can to make it happen. But I have so many people that it's like they've expected me to do things for them. And then it's like, I ask them, well, can you do this one small thing for me? Yeah, I got you. And then don't do it. And then it's a
Yeah.
consistent of being let down where you're just like,
Yeah.
really? And then they come to you expecting something. And then you're like, I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. And they're like, the nerve. How dare you? And it's just like, come on.
It, no,
Mm-mm.
it's important to choose yourself in most situations.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't want to be someone's doormat in any situation. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like there's a lot of people in relationships where they find themselves as someone's doormat.
Mm-hmm.
Or, ooh, I had a female friend where she was like not his like physical punching bag, but his like metaphorical punching bag. Like every time he had a shit day, it's like, ah, you gained some weight, or like he always made these comments. And I used to tell her, that's not the guy. Listen, that is not the guy. I can understand like every once in a while, I guess, but it's kind of like, listen, if someone loved you, they would treat you like they loved you. And you wouldn't have to, if you're ever with anyone who that's like your friend or your partner, and you have to question if they love you or not, then they don't. I'm gonna just keep it honest. Like, if you ever have to question, like, does this person even care about me? Then they probably don't. Because
Actions speak louder than words.
people who care about you, you know that they actually care about you, so you wouldn't have to question it. And it's like, if you ever have to question it, they probably don't care about you. And you should probably, you know, move on with whatever the situation is.
Yeah.
You don't want to be no one's punching bag. You don't want to be no one's doormat. You don't want like I had to break up with this girl one time because she was always kind of like she had these expectations for her life, which was like, oh, that's fine. But it was just kind of like I just got so tired of like because she made it seem like that these things weren't happening to her because of me. Like somehow, like I was like the big anchor in her life that was stopping her from like traveling the world and doing this and doing that. And then we broke up. She didn't do any of those things. So it's like there's a real like self accountability that comes when it comes to just everything. I feel like most people should probably look within and just kind of work on themselves before they get into any relationship. Because if, check this one out. I used to say this all the time. You can't love somebody if you don't love yourself first. Yeah. And that's true. I had to tell someone that, like a friend of mine, like, yeah, you don't love me. You don't even love yourself. You fucking hate yourself. So how can I expect for you to have any love for me when you hate you? And it's like, that's how it is. It's like there's a lot of people out there who really hate themselves and they operate in a way where you could tell that they hate themselves by their decisions that they make. A lot of people think like, oh yeah, 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 I'm all good and all that, but their decisions tell you like, oh, this is someone who actually hates themselves. But you don't think about it. You just kind of look from afar a lot of the times. It's like, ooh,
Mm-hmm.
or you think to yourself, I wouldn't do that, but you can. But it's like, that's probably not the greatest decision. Hard out here in these streets, man. There's a
Yeah.
lack of accountability with lots of people, unfortunately.
Yeah. I wish more people had access to like therapy and like self-care
Yeah.
things.
Oh yeah.
And there's such a stigma around it, which is too bad. But it's like work on yourself, love yourself, be happy being by yourself. And I've had a few people like ask me like, how are you happy? You're not dating, you're not married. I'm like,
Oh
I
wow.
love my company now. Like, I
Yeah.
love being alone. Like, I need to find my standards are high now because I enjoy my
Mm,
company so much that if I'm with you and I'm not enjoying my company, I don't need to be in a relationship to be happy. I'm like, I need you to elevate or thank you next, you know.
Hey, yo, now
I
you're
don't
talking.
need
Now
none of
you're
you.
fucking cooking. Now that's how it should have always been. It just took you a while to get to
100%.
there,
Yeah.
because it's like you got to remember there's a lot of things you can get back in life. You can't get that time back. Once that time is over, it is over, and you cannot get it back. So all you can do is kind of look back and be like, "Fuck, I shouldn't have did that." Or I shouldn't have stayed in that situation for as long as I did. That was a real mistake.
Hmm. Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, you don't ever want to look back and just think, "Ooh, shouldn't have did that." It's, I think a lot of the times in your heart, you know what I'm saying? Because that's like, it's such a cliche thing when people be like, "How did you know your wife was the one?" Oh, you just kind of know. So if you know that way, then the exact opposite is true, right? You know when you don't need a bunch of red flags to tell you when someone's not the person. You know. You just kind of be
Hmm.
like, well, maybe you start making excuses for them. And it's like, well, maybe they just had a bad day, or maybe this, maybe that. But it's just kind of like, mm.
A
If you
lot of
feel
bad
that
days.
way, yeah, it's like, yeah, it's like life is too short to be around people that you don't like. It's
Hmm.
like, and you know when you don't like someone, like, yeah, I don't like this person. And it's like, if you, unless you're the person that just hates everyone, then you probably need to get some therapy. If you hate everyone, not everyone's shitty, like, but if you just kind of know, and it's like as you get older, you know what you like and you know what you don't like. So it's just kind of like, it doesn't take very long to be like, yeah, no. It's just like they get to talking and you're just looking like, nah.
Yeah.
And that goes with like dating and friendships and like your coworkers. It's like, yeah, I don't like this coworker. You stay over there, I go over here.
Hmm.
Because I don't like you, and I'm pretty sure you don't like me. So we don't really have to interact. You gotta remember how valuable your time is, you know what I'm saying? I don't think people value their time like that. And that's why they find themselves in these situations and they're just kind of there. It's like, it's tough, man. It's just so tough. I know it's hard to pull the cord, but it's also hard to just be in a miserable
And
situation.
once you do, you're just like, ugh, should have done
Yeah,
that a long time ago.
we did that a long time ago. That's
Hmm.
even like breaking a relationship with like a barber, or like a dentist or something. I had this barber who would flake on me all the time. And it was just kind of like, well, he gives a really good haircut. But then it was like, we would have these appointments and he would just not show up. And it would be like, dude. And he would be like, oh, my bad. That's a real nonchalant fucking way to answer that, dude. And it was just kind of like, you know what? I'm
Hmm.
good.
Yeah.
If you don't value my time, then why should I value yours? It's like, yeah, you know what? I'm fine. You're good. I just moved on. It's like, I know some people will probably be like, oh man, you got to give people a chance, but I don't know, man. How many times can you give someone a chance to kind of there's you get to a point with people where you just kind of know what they're gonna do, and you just kind of and then they do the shitty thing, and you're just kind of like, well, I kind of expect for you to do that. And it's like, well, what am I even doing at this point? It's like I know you're going to behave in a certain way that I don't like, but I'm just kind of waiting for you to do it. It's like when you say it out loud, it sounds crazy, but that's just you find yourself in these situations where it's like, oh, I try to avoid anyone that makes me feel that way. When I say that, when I hear their name, I just go, ugh. I try to avoid those people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
because
rough.
it's those people. I feel like that just chips away at your soul, and chips away at your confidence. Because it's kind of like it's starting to make you think about yourself. Like, what am I doing? Am I doing something to this person that make them act this way? Like, what should I do differently?
Hmm.
because yeah, you just kind of know when you're around the wrong person. I had a friend who, you know, when we first met and we first started hanging out, we did a lot of like eating and drinking, and that pretty much was our whole thing. We didn't really whatever. But then I started to eat healthy, and I started to lose weight and stuff. And he made this weird comment like, "Well, you were supposed to be my fat friend," and I just kind of looked around like, "Are you fucking talking to me?" And I was like, yeah, I don't think I should hang out with you ever again in life. It was just kind of like it was such a weird comment for him to
Hmm.
make. Because I think he always kind of looked at me like I was his like number two or something. And it was kind of like once I started to get more attention than him, then it became like a weird situation. Like I never noticed if he got more attention than me. I didn't know because I didn't really care. And it's like you're not my competition. So I never looked at you as my competition, but it was like,
That's weird.
oh, you look at me as like I'm your competition. That's weird.
Hmm.
There's friends who are like that, where they're almost like competing with each other and everything, and that's weird. There's even relationships where it's like that, where it's like we feel like you're in a competition with them. Those are weird relationships to be in general, where it's just kind of like, okay,
Oh yeah, good
okay,
chat. But yeah, I think valuing your time and learning to love yourself and be able to respect yourself in a way that if I'm going to respect you a certain way, I expect that back and embrace that BDE, people. You
indeed.
deserve it.
Yeah, and love on yourself, in every way.
Yeah.
You're perfect the way that you are. And if there's somebody around you who makes you feel any other way, then get those people out of there.
No, I totally agree. Yeah. And if you're with people that you should grow together and want to lift each other up and push people to be better, not I want to be better than you. So life's not a competition. Just be kind to yourself, be kind to others. It sounds easy. It should be easy, but you know,
Be like that.
it'd be like that. But if you can't take care of yourself, you can't
Yeah,
expect other people to do it. So,
indeed, indeed.
yeah.
It's an important topic.
Hmm.
Okay.
Well, and it's
Well,
something I don't think people make a priority. And I think it should be more of
for
a
sure.
priority for people.
I
Hmm.
think I think most people just don't think about it. And
Hmm.
a lot of people are just so busy, especially once you have like kids and you're married, or even if you're just working a lot, you're just so busy. And it's kind of like you're just not thinking about it. You're just kind of living and not thinking. You're just
That's
kind of
fine.
drifting. And then next thing you know, years of your life go by, and you're just kind of like,
Hmm.
God damn,
Hmm.
that's tough.
Yeah. Something I would always tell people is you can't pour from an empty cup. Like you have to make sure you're filling your cup before you can fill other people's. And
Indeed.
a lot of people don't do that. They're just like, I'll give you everything. You're not going to give me anything fine? That's fine. No, it's not fine. Give to people that give to you.
Yeah. Oh
Mhm.
yeah. That's a good way to end it on that. That's a good note right there.
All the positive vibes over here.
Sure.
But yeah, let us know something that helps you guys feel confident. If you have energy vampires in your life, if you're struggling with stuff, let us know. Yeah.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit we need as many followers as we can get so we can get the vibes going. Then, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music. We are everywhere. And we're always watching. Yeah,
In a good way.
in the best
We're
way
all ears.
possible.
We want to hear all of
Yeah.
them.
Tell a friend. friend and tell your friends, tell a friend, tell your mama's mama, tell everybody.
Yeah.
Just give me some money, baby. Yeah, just give me a little bit of that
I
money. It's
love
okay.
that clip.
I'll spend it in the best way possible. Don't you want me to have nice things? Do you hate me? I love gold. I love rubies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
Subscribe to the
sure.
pod, baby, so I can get a little bit, so I can come in with gold teeth one day. Come on, baby. You know you want to see me with some gold teeth.
Yes.
Yeah. I ain't begging, baby. I just want a little bit of money.
You just want them new teeth.
I just want some
That's
gold teeth. That's it. I just want, a gold toilet seat. Is that too much to ask? Yeah. I just
oh,
want what everybody else wants, gold toilet seat. I just want big rims on my car. That ain't too much to ask, you know.
yeah, sure.
Subscribe to the pod. We love you here. The person you with, he don't love you. We love you. You know what I'm saying? We love you here. You know,
Yikes.
person you're with, they hate you. We love you here. We
I
hug,
hope
we
not. I hope
we give
not.
out viral hugs through the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
Get
sure.
weird with me, baby. It's okay. What you want to see my feet on OnlyFans? It's okay. I'll get an OnlyFans just for you. The fans, I love y'all. You're my number one. Just give me a little bit of money, baby. It's getting weird now.
It's getting real weird.
Yeah, it's okay.
Thank you for watching. Until next time, keep it weird. Maybe not this weird.
Mhm.
We will see you guys next time. Bye, George.
Peace.